I'm just losing my best friend in the whole world. And now public speaking doesn't mean anything. It should be easy. Mike taught me so much. He meant so much to me, and he changed my life in so many ways that I can't begin to tell you guys. He always used to say to me, and he knew I hated it, anytime I would get upset, he would go. This comes back to your question. He was a question asker. He would ask everybody questions and pick their brains, as all of the business people in this room know. And I feel honored that he picked my brain. But he always said to me, ask a better question, get a better answer. And I always wanted to flip him off.
Did you ever?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure I did sometimes. By saying that, he always tried to get everybody to understand that you can get a surface lesson, or you can start to look deeper by asking a better question. I've had so many people this past week asking me why this happened, and I've never once asked myself why this happened. It's not a good question. There's not a good answer to that question. I just remember and focus on the good times, and I was so blessed to have met my soulmate and to have had a best friend. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here to celebrate his life with me. Some of his best friends are in this room. I heard him talk about so many of you guys so many different times. And I've never met a lot of you until today. Don't feel sorry for me and for Ella. I feel so deeply grateful that I ever met Mike, as I know each of you guys feel too, whether you knew him as a person, whether you knew him as Happy the Hobo, whether you knew him through business, whether you were lucky enough to sit on the sofa with us when times were good and when times were bad. I feel so grateful to have known Mike Fry. He crammed at least 3 lifetimes into his one. In fact, for him, I'd say every decade was a lifetime, so he'd be up to 5. I'm going to live bigger. I'm going to live bigger because I want to make sure that I live for him, not in the sense that I'm living my life vicariously, but in the sense that I'm living my life for both of us now. And I have to bring his influence to our daughter. I want you to carry Mike's spirit. I want you to live your life bigger and more joyfully because you knew him. That is what would make him happy. That is what would keep him proud. The funny thing to me is that he didn't realize how many people he impacted. I started a stupid Facebook page, and he had no idea he would end up with 13,000 fans. Mike said, happiness is something you are inside and out. And to me, being a happy person means making the most of your life every single day. And if everybody out here said Mike did that every single day, he never let the little things get to him. There have been a lot of tears. But yesterday, I was crying my eyes out and I was using toilet paper because we don't have any tissues in our house. Our house was filled with laughter. And how many people could say that? A lot of us. Mike lives on most visibly in our daughter, Ella. And I think that's probably the best gift that he gave me. Mike said that about 2 years after we got married, we had a beautiful daughter. This is a quote from his book. The great thing about her is she's just so much fun. A lot of people ask if she's always so happy, and yeah, she is. She's always happy. She's always giggling and having a good time. And he loved the fact that she was a happy child. He said he'd always hoped to have a daughter. So when he found out that I was pregnant, thanks to his best friend Delbert, who literally had a dream that I was pregnant, none of us knew. He decided that he was going to tell her, while she was still in the womb, all the things he wanted her to be. And that must have been that he decided it after he burned his cheese toasty, because that's what happened when I told him I was pregnant. So every day in the shower, he would put his hands around me, and he would sing to our little girl that was just growing inside of me. He would sing, "Happy baby, happy, happy baby." And if he didn't like me, he didn't have a good voice. You like to laugh and you like to smile. You're so happy in every single way. He did that every single day. He'd talk to my tummy. He'd tell Ella everything she was going to be. And he did it all the way through every time she would go to bed at night. He would go in and he would stand over her crib if he couldn't sleep, and he'd say to her, "You're so creative. You're the most creative little girl ever. You are so, so smart. You learn so fast. You love to learn. You're filled with laughter. You love to meet people. It's easy for you to meet people." Because he never met a stranger. You're super positive, which is so important in life, because then people want to be around you, and you love to share. That's what I continue to hope for my daughter, is that she is a happy child. And I know that I have a team of people in this room that Mike built. I didn't pull these people together, he did. But I know that he will be there to help me vicariously through each of you. And you all look ridiculous. Mike passed away Sunday evening. And I couldn't figure out how to tell Ella that her daddy was never coming home this time. She's been used to him being in the hospital, being sick. On Tuesday, she crawled in bed with me and she asked me when Daddy was coming home. My answer to her was, "Daddy's not coming home this time. He's in heaven now. He's an angel with rainbow sparkly wings." She replied, she goes, "He's with Grandma Sylvia?" And I said, "Yeah, that's right." And she goes, "Well, that's okay. Now I've got an angel to protect me." So in my hardest times, I've had somebody there to comfort me. Friends, family, our own little girl that reminds me so much of him. Ella had the best daddy there is, and she's going to keep on having the best daddy there is. Mike and I, we discussed life and death, often and at length. He always said he wanted a celebration full of laughter because he lived without regret. He never did a thing that he regretted. Well, there might be a few. He did tell me he wore a white pantsuit and split his pants in a roller rink once. He always moved through fear. He gleaned nuggets of wisdom from every person he met. And he always left everybody he met better than when they met him. He certainly improved me a lot. I'm honored. I'm honored to have known him, to have loved him, and to have had his love in return. And I know everybody in this room feels the same. And I want to let you all know that he's with you. He always used to talk to his parents in the car after they both passed. He'd talk to his mom and talk to his dad. And I'm going to keep talking to him, so I hope that you will too. And knowing what I know now, I wouldn't change a thing. I would do every single one of these things over again. Because the miracle is that he and I ever met. Can we do it, folks? That's it, that's my toast.